Hey, my sweet crafty friends, it's Monique with Grace and Tattered Lace. Let's make an old vintage Santa with this beautiful vintage, oval vintage frame that we cut out on the laser. This is available in the shop, and I'm so excited. My inspiration came from a picture that I saw that was for sale on the website antiquefarmhouse.com. It was much out of my price range, so I set out after trying to figure out how to make this myself. The first thing I did was put some brown paint around the outside edges of the frame and then the overlaying part as well. Once that was dry, I put a coat of clear wax, not really a coat, I just put some sporadic strokes of that clear wax over the top of that outer frame. And then I'm coating it with a nice coat of Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color of drop cloth. Now, any color is going to work. You don't have to have the Dixie Belle products, friends. I have just fallen in love with it. I love the ease of it, but an ivory color or any color that you choose will work just as well. Just make sure it's chalk paint. That's just my recommendation. Okay, once I got that on there, I went ahead and took the image that I had printed out. By the way, I will post a picture of that on my page separately for you to download, so that if you want to use this, you can use it. Anyway, I went ahead and took that Dixie Belle chalk paint and coated the back of that while I had my paintbrush out nice and wet. And so once that was dry and the frame was dry, I took a clear coat of my Dixie Belle clear wax right over the top of that image to help protect it. I'm not a Mod Podge girl over my image, so that's just what I choose to do. Now I'm just buffing that wax off, and you can see, look at the color putting that paint on the back on there, and then that wax on the top just made that pop a lot. Now I'm just taking my scraper and scraping the paint off where the wax hit on that board underneath that paint to give it that wonderful, nice, vintagey, chippy, farmhousey look. And I think it looks darn amazing, you guys. All right, now I'm just gonna try to figure out how this image needs to go to fit underneath that top layer there. I'm gonna take my blade cutter and go all the way around the frame and just trim that edge off of there. Now that I did this, I was like, now what? How am I going to get this there? You can see I'm thinking there for a minute. You can see my fingers tapping. Excuse Roxy running in the background there. And now her toy squeaking. So I took some Mod Podge and I ran around the inside edge of that frame and just stroked a nice thin layer there. And then I'm going to set it right on top of that image and get it where it needs to go. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put Mod Podge over the whole entire back part. Once I got that good and coated on the back, then I'm going to set this back down on the frame. I'm going to gently pull the top layer off so that I have it set where it needs to go. Wow, this was tricky, guys. I've never done it this way. So now I'm taking my little squeegee tool thing that I got over at Dollar Tree, getting all the wrinkles out. I went ahead and took my blade and cut just a little bit more off the bottom. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to hang out a little bit when I put the top back on. Now I did take my heat tool and just give it a quick little blast on that paper before I've taken the iron and my parchment paper to the print itself. Make sure that your iron doesn't have any steam going. You just want a nice hot iron, no steam. Now I took my thick stick-it, put it on the back of that frame, and adhered it right to the top of the picture in that frame. We're just going to play around with a little bit of greenery and a nice little red bow. You guys, I think this would look great without greenery or with greenery, whatever your preference is. I don't know. I think actually this would look fantastic with this Santa and two smaller of these oval frames next to it with something else inside of it. So I'm going to work on making a smaller one of these as well, because I think that this would look great as a little trio. Anyway, I just took a couple different sprigs of greenery, attached it to the corner there. Yes, Roxy has her squeaky toy, and she's probably going to go crazy here in just a minute, you guys, so excuse the squeakiness. I trimmed some of those edges off that were pretty thick because those came off of a wreath. We're going to attach the little red bow there. And oh, you guys, I just love how this turned out. It looks awesome. If you need a link to the shop, just type frame and I'll get you a link, or link works too. And make sure you watch out for the post for the picture and the picture of Santa on the page, guys. Thanks for watching, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. I absolutely love it. Thanks for watching.